background. I'm gonna figure out everything we got going on over here. Salute to everybody that's entered the chat early. I really appreciate it. Uh, you know, let's do some housekeeping. Let's do some housekeeping. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. This is eBlack TV. If you want to be a part of the panel, if you want the early email saying, you know, you want to get the early facts about eBlack TV, hit that up. This is season 4, authentic, adaptive, adoptive, and aberrant behaviors. Next week, if you look at my channel right now, next week I have about 4 or 5 shows that are going to be specifically towards these topics. I'm going to cover authentic behavior. I'm going to cover adaptive behavior. I'm going to cover adoptive behavior. I'm going to cover aberrant behavior. These are all topics that I personally know about personally. I used to run a program in Oakland that talked about these. This is going to be the core flagship of what season 4 is about. Whether you like to believe it or not, I ain't into all that other rah-rah stuff. I gets with the shits, you know what I mean? But at the same time, for the most part, you know, uh, I'll be chilling. I'll be real chilling. I'll be big chilling. And I appreciate everybody who's here. Salute to Cyrax, who's the Robbie. I put out a poll earlier today. Let me see. I'm looking at the poll right now. There's 6 votes. It's 50-50, love versus duty. I put out the poll early today. Let me look at that poll. See what that's about. Let's see. It looks like that poll is damn near 45-55 with 11 votes. So I think people are definitely split on this topic, which is why it makes it such a good topic. When you have people who are split about certain situations, I think it's good to cover that topic. You're going to have a lot more momentum. People are going to be interested. People are going to have differences. You can have both sides. I will be dropping a link later on. But in the meanwhile, let me cook up a little bit and then let's have fun with this. Salute to that boy. Love is duty. Okay. Ricky said already he gonna pick duty. And you know what? I should have chose the option of women choose one side versus men choose one side. Uh, I think women are gonna have a different view about this. I think women are gonna choose love. I think men are gonna choose duty. That's just my opinion. Uh, it's an interesting topic. We'll kind of go into that, but let's do some cleanup work. If you haven't already, please join the Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group that is. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Let me go find this motherfucker. Like I said, tonight I'm chilling. I'm like in such a good relaxed mood. I'm in such a good mood to where I just want to relax, enjoy streaming, talking about a certain situation. It don't matter the numbers. It don't matter who pop up. Let's see. But if you do pop up and have enjoy the conversation, FB group. So I'm gonna drop the Facebook group. If you're into Facebook, please sign up right here. There's a poll in the chat. There's a poll in the chat right now. So if you want to refresh your screen, go ahead, vote right now. Right now it's 50-50. Right now it's 50-50. Also, yeah, I keep forgetting. We do have a Facebook page, not a Facebook, but a Discord group. Let me get the Discord up. If you haven't already, join the Facebook group. I mean, it's still new. I only got a couple of people in there, But I think it's a good way if you want to communicate with me. A lot of people try to communicate with me through IG. I'm like, look, I can't answer my IG. A lot of stuff times it gets hidden in spam. So if you want to get into the Facebook group here, let me get into. Oh yeah, I gotta. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna drop the Instagram. I mean the Discord group in a second. I gotta go get it. But yeah, some people like Discord. To me, Discord is good. To me, Discord is real good. Timer. So if you want to join the Discord group, join the Discord group. Like I said, I'm gonna slow motion this. If you haven't already, please sign up for the eBlack TV.
Welcome to eBlack TV. Easy work, easy work.
Please get you a membership.
Salute to the Black Pride on eBlack TV. Easy work, easy work, easy work, easy work.
So all the links are in the chat. If you like to participate, get a little bit more interactive, I guess. You know, like I said, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy having fun, being creative, talking about certain things. I'm having fun. It ain't about the numbers. It ain't about a lot of things. Of course, I'm competitive. Of course, I want to see 500, 600, 7,000 in this motherfucker. But no matter what, I think on replay, I think I kill a lot of people. That's just my opinion. But let's get to the subject. So today we're talking about love versus duty. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of going through stuff. Last couple of weeks, I've had people kind of test my patience, test my authentication, or whatever you want to call it. Just they just testing me. They're basically testing what I believe in, and I believe it's like either it's real love or it's duty. And I think a lot of people just don't understand. You know, look, love is one thing, duty is another thing. In my opinion, love is a feeling. Duty is an action. You can love a lot of things. We all love a lot of things. How many times have you left things that you love by the wayside? How many times in your livelihood have you said, you know what, I love this thing, but I gotta let it go? Duty. How many times have you gone through duty with somebody? I think duty, in my opinion, this is the way I've said it, duty is more important than love. With duty, you understand the standard. With duty, you do things that are beyond reason. With love, now I will say this. Now, I'm really being I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I want people to understand that there's a difference between love and duty. When you have certain actions that are required of you, what overrides what? Now, when I was looking up this concept and I was kind of like formalizing this argument, I wanted to make sure that it was like authentic to some point, you know? I found out that there was a Game of Thrones. Anybody watch Game of Thrones? If you watch Game of Thrones, there's a scene in there where somebody had to make a decision. Somebody had to make a real decision in regards to how they actually operated. And I'm gonna play a scene, and this is kind of like, if you've watched this, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So we're gonna play this little scene. Like I said, we're gonna play this little scene, and I want you guys to understand the decision this person had to make in regards to duty versus love. Like I really want you to understand that this person had to really make a decision in regards to this. So let's hit the play button. Let's see what they're talking about.
I know you love her. I love her too. Not as successfully as you. But I believed in her with all my heart. Love is more powerful than reason. We all know that. Look at my brother.
Love is the death of duty.
You just came up with that.
Maester Aemon said it a long time ago.
Sometimes duty is the death of love. You are the shield that guards the realms of men. You've always tried to do the right thing, no matter the cost. You've tried to protect people. Who is the greatest threat to the people now? It's a terrible thing I'm asking. It's also the right thing. Do you think I'm the last man shall execute? Who is more dangerous than the rightful heir to the Iron Throne?
If that's her decision, she is the queen. I'm sorry it came to this.
And your sisters? Do you see them bending the knee?
My sisters will be loyal to the throne.
Why do you think Sansa told me the truth about you? Because she doesn't want Dany to be queen.
She doesn't get to choose.
No. But you do. And you have to choose now.
Duty is the death of love. Duty is the death of love. And when we get this ideology, we understand this in our everyday life. We understand why we have to make the decisions that we have to make. So this is the premise that I'm working off. This is the premise that I'm working off. Is that duty is the death of love. Exactly. Sometimes we gotta make these decisions for the best of our community, for the best of our families, for the best of ourselves. So when the people talk about love, I understand And like I said, I wish I really could separate this as a female versus male decision. Please understand, I'm talking from a male's perspective. If you guys want to help me out, I'm fine with that. But as far as a man, as far as the man that I've been raised to be, duty has always been more important than love. Raise the kids. Sacrifice the things and the things that you love and the family and the friends. You're now on a different journey. Duty has always been the death of love. Things that I love, I've had to give up because I have a duty to sacrifice for my community. As a black man, we talk about love and we're supposed to marry black women, right? That's my duty, right? Black men, we're supposed to help our community, right? That's my duty, right? What if I don't love my community? Oh, you have a duty to that community. Okay, I see. I want people to understand that I am a hopeless romantic. I am a Virgo. I wear my heart on my sleeve. There's a lot of ideologies and a lot of things that I'm passionate about. But no matter what, to the core of me, I am a dutiful individual. I believe duty overrides a lot of things. God has put us here for a purpose. There are, when we talk about a lot of things that have happened in our history, a lot of people chose duty. And that's the reason why we're here where we're at. As much as I'm a romantic about love and happiness, no. A lot of what we do is about duty. Now I'm gonna bring it to you guys, and we're gonna slow walk this because, like I said, I got a couple of things. So let's define some of these terms because that was just the beginning. Because when I got to that point of like kind of understanding what I was gonna talk about, I wanted to talk about. I got to the point to where it's like, you know what? I still choose duty. What is duty? Duty is a moral or legal obligation. What is an obligation? Meaning that you're obligated to something. Meaning that you're assigned a contract, whether it's moral, written, you still feel a part of this. You still will withhold that. And your word is your bond. Whatever you vow to say that you're going to be doing, this is what you're going to do. And this is why I say there's a lot of things that I love to do. But I, as dutiful as a man, I had to choose to do certain things in a different light. So, duty refers to a moral or legal obligation to perform a certain action. It is often implies a responsibility that arises from one's role, position, or relationship. I've been leaders of basketball teams. I've been leaders in my personal friends. I've been leader in my own relationship. These are things that I've had to do. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It can be varied. And it may be influenced by ethical principles. My ethical principles define my duties. Societal norms. Society says as a man you need to be provider. Society says as a man you need to take care of the woman that you're with. Society says you need to bear children, and when you bear these children, you need to take care of these children. This is my duty. Forget how much I love the person I'm with. This is what I'm obligated to. Legally, I'm obligated to these people too. Legally, I'm supposed to do certain things. You know, when we talk about duty, this is what I'm talking about. When we talk about that's I want I why can't it be both? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Love is the death of duty, and duty is the death of love. You can't have both. What is love? Is it a feeling or a choice? Love is a feeling. Duty is honor, definitely, but without love, what is the point of life? Sorry, female brain here, so excuse my bad. Okay, I get it, and that's what I'm saying. I understand because as a woman, you live in a world in which men have the duty to take care of you. But in the men's world, we have nobody who's going to care for us. So it's different for us. Which is why, like I said, I should have phrased it a little differently in terms of the poll. I should have did it differently. That's going because when we talk about love, right? When we talk about love, I wanted to come up with a definition that was good, but I couldn't really come with a definition that I felt was really comfortable for me. But I'm going to allow the Minister Farrakhan kind of bring it to you guys. So Minister Farrakhan is going to speak to this.
He said, love is based on three principles. One, freedom. Two, justice. Three, equality. He said these three principles are the principles that undergird love. And these three principles are the essential of life. So here you have love, or LL. The O is interchangeable with the vowel I. The F is interchangeable with the F is interchangeable with the consonant V. So when you have love, whoa, you have life. When you have life, you have love. These two words are inseparable. Now, where there is love, there is freedom. Every human being is born into this world to be given life and to be free to evolve and develop everything that the Creator has put within. If you are not free, somebody does not love life. Justice. There is no love where there is injustice. And since justice is the joy of freedom, then even if you're free to develop, but developing in a structure where there is injustice, then there is no joy even in being free when you have no justice. And without justice, you cannot justify your existence. Without freedom, you cannot justify your existence. Because the moment you can justify your existence, you become equal to everything that God has created.
Thank you. So this is the concept that I was talking about, where in terms of love, we have freedoms and justice and equality. This is the probably the best way that I can explain it without being all fuzzy with it. You know, if you love somebody or if you have love in your heart, there's certain things and criterias that you operate in. There's justice in it. If somebody does an action, you then have justice within that. Does their action deserve certain punishments? And how do you treat that action? Do they see it as equality? Are they free in that action? So when we talk about love and injustice and we talk about freedoms and the like I said, the best way that I can describe love is what Louis Farrakhan just stated without getting into a lot of other stuff. So let's just use that as the basis of what we're covering in terms of love. We understand what duty is. We understand that duty is a moral obligation. We understand that love encompasses freedom, justice, and equality. But I want to get into some things, and I don't want to get all preachy on you guys, but let's talk about duty. What when you talk about duty, the Bible says the husband must fulfill his duty to his wife, right? Duty. He didn't say love to his wife. He said duty. So as a man, I see this type of like so for me, when we talk about love versus duty, I see duty. And likewise, the wife to her husband. So I understand where women in today's time, and I don't want to get into the modern woman stuff talk, but it didn't say in this portion of the Bible, it says duty. What am I responsible for? What are the things that I'm required to do? What are the things as a human being am I trying to convey to another human being? Usually what we're conveying to another human being is duty. As a parent, you know, the children don't see God first. They have to learn who God is. They have to learn exactly where God is. They only see the parent. And as a parent, you have the obligation, which is duty, to feed and provide and to shelter and to hold this child in certain safety, right? So when we talk about love versus duty, I still see that as duty. The parents could disappear. A family member would take over and still show duty towards a child. Not love, but duty. Making sure that that kid is clothed. Making sure that kid is provided for. Foster parents. These are things that are, like I said, usually attributed towards duty. Love is a feeling, but a duty is an action. Let me ask you this. In Matthew 5:44, it says, "But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Why should I love somebody? Because it's my duty. Are you guys getting it now? It's my duty to love somebody and my enemies because I want to be a righteous person. I want to be a good person. I want to live in a certain lifestyle. I want the the gifts of God to pour down on me. And what God said is that you should be loving your enemies. Duty again. First Timothy 3:12. Deacons must be husbands of only one wife and good managers of their children and their own households. These are duties. To be a deacon, you have a duty. It didn't say that you love God so much. It didn't say that you love the church so much, you love the scripture so much, that you love some certain aspects of life so much. It said that you have a duty to do. You have a duty to be a husband with one wife and be good managers of their children, which is a duty, and your own household, which is a duty. So once again, when we talk about love versus duty, I really want people to understand what the differences are. You know, when we talk about duty, we have legal duties. These are duties that are mandated by law and regulations. Paying taxes. We have traffic laws, right? These are duties. We have moral duties, right? We have things where we feel things are right or wrong, and we feel a duty towards it. We have professional duties. We have responsibilities. We have things that are ethical, that we feel that are right and wrong. These are duties. We're not talking about love. We have personal duties to our community. How we shape and frame our relationships with other people. It gives us a sense of responsibility in this world. Let's be honest. Our personal duties to each other are shapes who we are. It says nothing about love. People will always talk about how you're an honest person and how you're this type. They will always talk about how you fulfill your duties, not your love. We have social duties. How do we, in the broader context of, say, society, how do we contribute to the well-being of our community at large? How well do we contribute? These are our duties as see, it doesn't, I love the black community. What is my duty to be a part of the black community? These are duties. I can love the black community, but then I live in a white neighborhood. Is that showing love? I love the black community, but I'm only associating with white people. I love the black community, but I'm not going to participate in purchasing black consumption of capitalism. Where's the duty in that? Most people talk about duty. See, like I said, love is a feeling. It's something that makes us feel good as a human being. But duty is something that we actually do and provide for each other. It is for the greater good of each other, for the family. If you have a duty towards family, I love my mother or father. I love my great-grandmother or my great-grandfather who gave me my last name. But what does it matter if I just love them? What is my duty towards them? My duty towards them, if I love them, is to honor their children. What good is love if you're not having duty towards it? See, as a man, that's the way I think. I honor my grandfather, my great grandmother, I honor my family with duty by honoring and taking care of their nieces and nephews, their cousins, my other cousins. These are the people who I honor. That is my duty as a man. Yeah, I got love for them, but what does the love do if I do not provide duty towards them? Providing the things that are, as a man, as a human being, and help. I think the thing is that when we talk about love and duty, it's about nature and connection. Love is an emotional thing. It's deep seated and feeling, and it has affection and attachment and care and all that good stuff. But duty is an obligation and responsibility. It carries a strong emotion, but is rooted in the moral, legal, and social obligations that are imposed upon me as a human being. These are things that, like I said, even if I may not be in love or as in love with a certain thing or a topic or a person or a human being, these are the things that, like I said, beyond that, I still do the things that I'm supposed to do as an individual. You can love your favorite basketball team, but you never watch them because they're having a losing season. You have to be able to understand that when it comes to the duty and the love stuff, how much are you willing to do it on your own time? How freely are you able to give it? Love is voluntary, right? It's a sense of choice. Everybody gets to choose who they love. But duty doesn't follow those rules. There could be external factors that give you the feeling that you need to be ethical towards somebody. You need to be a part of a social group. You may not like the black community, but my God, somebody just got shot on the corner by a police officer, and just because he was black. My duty to my community is to show up and to show my despise for that action. I volunteer I don't love my community right now, but I volunteer who I am right now to my community because it's my duty as a black person to do that. I want people to understand love is cool. I love love. But when you talk about duty, it is a very powerful thing. We have certain emotional involvement with regards to that. We are happy and joyful, a sense of fulfillment. But when you provide a duty towards somebody, don't you feel the same joy and fulfillment towards them? When you're feeding the homeless, when you're providing for your family, when you're taking care of your kids, this is the duty that I have. I fulfill my imperative that was put upon me. But let's be honest. When you talk about love and duty, the flexibility is different too. Love can be more flexible. It can evolve, it can deepen or change over time based on experiences and interaction, right? But duty is very often rigid. It may not change easily. When you have a duty towards something, you have an obligation, like again, to provide and do the things that you're supposed to do. So when we talk about moral love versus duty, I'm sorry. I would rather have something that is more meaningful, not based on the whims of feelings or experiences. I actually, when we talk about duty, like I said, man, when we talk about duty, like think about it like this: in your professional life, you have certain roles and responsibilities in the workplace, and you ensure that things run smoothly and fulfillment of the obligations of colleagues and clients and employees. You have a legal and moral obligation, right? Like, like when you have a duty over somebody, you ensure that that person gets treated fairly. Not because you love or not love that person. Imagine a police officer saying, you know what, I love white people, but every time I stop a black person because I don't love them, I get to treat them differently. No, you have a duty to treat them the same. You have a duty to treat them ethically right and legally right. Imagine your parents saying, I don't love you, so I'm not going to feed you. I don't feel that connection. I don't feel that feeling. No, 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 no. As a parent, you have to prioritize your duty to protect, provide for the desires of the child. You have to make sacrifices for the well-being of their future and of your family. For your community, think about it. You have to, for your community, you may not love everybody in your community, but because you have a duty to ensure that your community is going good, you have to prioritize, volunteer, do the service work, contribute to the welfare and the being of the community so you can make it a better community. When we talk about duty, we talk about long-term commitments like marriage, vows, and promises. You know what? I get it. I get it. Love is so a good feeling, but if everybody was just based on feelings, and if their feelings change the next day, I need a little bit more. I may require individuals to prioritize duty over momentary feelings. Uphold your commitments. Work through the challenges and demonstrate the dedication that we all know that you're responsible for. So I understand when people say, yo, I want to feel love, but love is such a fleeting feeling that, like I said, I would rather have somebody show me duty. Because when you show me duty, I know that you're basing that on something else. I'm like I said, I'm speaking from a man. My word is my bond. Whatever I talk about, the truth that I talk about, whatever I say is exactly what I feel. Am I being clear about this? I appreciate everybody showing up. Exactly, because you truly love. Yes, yes. Look. Yes, but I'm going to disagree a bit. A person can be dutiful, but without love. But if truly love, duty becomes natural. It's not about coming natural. We've all been trained to do certain things. We've all been trained to go to school, to make sure we're clean. That's our duty to society. I love myself, but shit, I gotta take a bath. I love myself, but I gotta get my clothes. That's my duty to society to show that I'm greater than just how I feel about myself. You know, when we talk about relationships, when we talk about like being in relationships with people, we talk about the commitment and the long-term stability. Relationships are often commitments and responsibilities such as marriage vows. Prioritizing duty and honor these commitments can contribute to the stability and longevity of relationships, right? Supporting during challenges. This is duty. In challenging times, duty may involve providing support. How many people have you heard say, "You're my best friend, you're supposed to do these things"? That person still may love you, but they're not acting right. They still have the same feeling, but they're not acting right. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about duty. See, love is a personal, individualistic way of expression. It is great to feel love. It is great to have somebody show you love. But truly, we want somebody to feel duty, because when all the chips fall and we say, "Hey, you call me a friend," right? You're not acting like a friend. "Well, I love you. I still love you. I just can't be there for you." Well, you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to have a duty towards my feelings and how I operate and everything about me. You're my husband. You're my wife. You're not showing me duty. You're just showing me that you feel something about me as long as you feel comfortable. Your expression of love is not enough. Your expression of love, I can't feel what you feel. I need to feel what you feel. I need you at this particular time. Some people don't have the obligations of duty to really express themselves upon another person. This is why I don't have a lot of friends. The first thing that I talked about was fuck friends, and it's really along the same lines. If you call yourself a friend, you have the obligations to show yourself as a friend. You have the duty to be a friend. If you do not show the duty as a friend, then I can't call you a friend, because your feelings for me, I can't do nothing with that. I can't do nothing with it. Oh, I like eBlack. He's a cool dude, man. I fuck with him. What does that do for me when I'm down and out? What does that have to do for me when I'm trying to create? What does that have to do with me when I'm trying to get closer and express myself? What does your feelings have to do with me when you do not show the duty that in society that we all deem as necessary? Oh, you feel great. I'm glad you feel great. What can I do with your greatness, with your great feeling? Give me duty. Give me duty. I'm sorry, give me the duty that because you may not like me right now. You may not be on my team right now. But if you're calling yourself a friend and you're calling yourself a lover, or you're calling yourself a wife, or you're calling yourself a community, give me the things that you know that you owe me. The parental responsibility. When you have a duty over a child, like I said before, you're involved. You're prioritizing the well-being of a child. Oh, I love my kid, but you know what? I'm going to let them stay over my grandma's house. What is that duty? No, your responsibility is to that child, the well-being of that child. You want to go out and have fun with such and such and do all the things because you love those things, right? They give you a great feeling, right? But what about my feelings? What about the things that you're supposed to do for me? black people, we try to talk. We in black culture, we say we got love for each other. We talk about how much we love being a part of black culture. But what does black culture give us if we're not showing each other love? What is the duty in that? I love dressing black. We got Asian people dressing black. We got Mexican people dressing black. We got all these groups of people dressing black because they love black culture. But what is their duty to black culture? That's the point. What is their duty to us? We create, we give all the things that are necessary, but what is your duty to us? Is your duty to just love us? Because we're down, man. We need the help. You love our food. You love the way we dress. You love our culture. You love everything about us. But what are you doing with that love? Nothing but just loving us from afar. No, what is your duty? When one of us go down, are you protesting? When one of us are in jail, are you going to go see them? What is your duty? You love the black culture, but you have no duty to black culture. Would you rather have dutiful people who love black culture, or would you have people who have no duty toward the black culture or to black experience or to anything black and just love us? We love you guys. Oh, we just love you guys. When you're navigating conflict, you're facing disagreements. What is your duty? If you call yourself a friend, what is your duty? How effectively are you communicating? How are you upholding the commitment to the relationships? When you have duty, you do certain things. Like I said, duty is the death of love, because what happens is, even though your feelings may be hurt, you go beyond and say, you know what? You called me a friend, and as a friend, I got to do something. As a friend, I can't let you out like this. I love you. I may not agree with you. So I want to bring up something, right? This is within the same speech in this. I'm going to bring up this video.
Stress builds up in your head, and later in your children will remind you of your failure. They'll come against you because you failed in your duty. As you mature, brothers, you can't say you love Allah and don't love yourself enough to perform the duty that is required to yourself. Oh, okay. Now, what is the duty that I'm required to do? Well, we already know what our duty is to God, but you also have a duty to yourself. Well, what is my duty to myself? Well, I'm a human. And I'm made in the image and the likeness of God, according to the Bible. And according to the Quran, I am the vicegerent of God. I am responsible for God's work on earth. I got a duty to myself. He introduces himself to us in the Quran. Alif Lam Mim. And some of the scholars translated, although this is not an accurate translation of these letters, they say it means, I, Allah, am the best knower. Well, then how can you be a servant of God and not be a seeker after knowledge? Come on now. I'm not saying that you should spend your time looking at how the world turns. Or the general hospital. Or the days of our lives. You have a duty to yourself to grow in knowledge, because it is only knowledge that separates the animal instinct of the human being and grows us into human beings that can reflect the divine attributes of God. So every day we live, we should be trying to know something more today than we learned or knew yesterday. That is a duty binding upon us.
So, once again, you can love yourself, but what point does loving yourself, the true nature of loving yourself, is doing the duties that are necessary to love yourself? What is your purpose on this earth? What is the purpose are you here for? How are you using the God-given love that you've been given to show him your grace? See, like I said, I really think this is, I don't know if this is a female take or a male take, whatever. But as a man, I just cannot, as a man, allow God to allow me to fall by the wayside. I have certain things I'm supposed to do. I love myself, but I have a duty to loving myself to ensure certain things in my life. I have an obligation to my life. I have a moral standing in my life. So y'all may not like that type of talk, but in my opinion, this is how I rock. When we talk about, like, say, people getting married and whatnot, you know, I've been married, going on a couple of years, shit. It's going on 10, 11 years, I guess. And people ask me, is it love or is it duty? And I say, this is duty. I made these vows. I made these obligations. I made these commitments and vows. I made a promise. And I'm honoring these promises as a man. Even though I would, of course, want love within these process. I would love to have an intense feeling of romantic love within this, but within the confines of marriage, there's still things that I have to do as a husband. And I understand that the love may fluctuate, but for the sustainability of the community, I have a duty to ensure that I'm doing the right things. I produce children. These are family stability. Single children that come from single households have the most issues in our community. So yeah, I would love to feel love every fucking day. But every day I don't necessarily feel love. But I feel duty. My duty is to the family unit. Fulfilling my parental duties. Prioritizing the overall health of the family for the community. That helps me navigate the challenges. We help each other. There's days when I'm down. There's weeks. There's seasons. We have to move as a unit. Whether it be health related, interpersonal, financial, whatever it is. I'm a better human being because of my duty. I am a better human being because of my duty. These are challenges that I have to work out. And I think in regards to cultural and religious views, I think when it comes down to it, I think black culture, I hate to say it, what Anton's talking about is where we have a disposable culture. We have a disposable culture where, oh, well, if you don't feel like the way that you feel, or if you're not getting the love that you feel, that you need to throw it away. And I tell people all the time, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter how I feel. It matters about my duty. I owe the black community. I owe Jesus Christ. I owe a lot of different people to give every opportunity to create the greatest society of a black family. And that helps mutual growth. That helps shared goals, making decisions, aligning and the overall well-being of the marriage. So I know a lot of people may not understand when we talk about love versus duty in regards to marriage. That's the way I see it. It has very little to do with love. Of course I love my old lady. Of course. But as a man, I have a duty to ensure that this structure within this society is successful. Because if it doesn't succeed, then I don't necessarily succeed. Duty is the death of love. So, anyway, I've been talking. Ooh, Jesus. I don't know how long I've been talking, but if y'all want to come up, y'all want to talk about this. I actually like what you're saying. You're holding people to their words, accountability. If you're going to say you're this, make sure you're really be that then. Show it. Duty. Definitely with that point. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't say who I am when I'm not that person. That's why I'm very humble on these streets. That's why I'm very cool with the way I move and maneuver in these streets, because I understand whatever I portray to be, I have a duty to, an obligation to be that person. Which is why when I first got on this YouTube tree, I was like, man, what the fuck wrong with y'all niggas? Y'all have no honor. Y'all have no morals. Y'all have no obligations. Y'all have no duties to speak up for what y'all talking about. Or one day y'all say this shit, and the next day y'all say that shit. And then when it comes to the situations that you're put in, you really have no duty towards any of what you're talking about. We're all just blasé-faire about half of the shit that we're on. We're like literally blasé-faire about every single thing we're talking about. You have no duty to uphold my California people. I say, yo, we from the turf. We have no turf affiliation. We have no coastal affiliation. And barely we have any black affiliation. We all love those stuff, but we have no duty towards upholding the standards that we bring towards these people. And that's the things that I really can't fuck with. I guess our duty is to provide a feeling. If I was to say our duty is to provide a feeling, I would say this. Before you make an obligation, before you sign a contract, before you state that you're going to do exactly what you say you do, make sure that you're ready to hold on through the ends of it. Because, yeah, you may feel good. It feels good to get a credit card, but you still got to pay it. You still got the obligation. You still have the duty. We can all have credit cards in our wallet, but what does it matter if it makes us feel good if we don't have the duty to pay them off? So be responsible with the duty and the choices that you make. Because when you have the duty, people expect you to follow through. People expect it. I'm sorry, people expect to have every single thing that you say that you are is to follow through. I'm not saying that you have to choose duty over how you feel. What I'm saying is that the commitments that you make, you need to follow through. The duties and the obligations that you make need to follow through. And the decisions that you make don't need to be based on a feeling, because feelings change. They change by season. In the summer months, we're high. In the winter months, we're cold. We're low. These are seasons. But no matter what, your decisions to follow through a project or to follow through something or to stand up for something needs to be able to be followed through by the trueness and the wellness of yourself. Which is why you may love a situation. You may love, a certain person. But if you don't have duty towards that person, what does that love mean? That just means that, you know what, I'm going to holler at them later. Oh, I love that person, but I can't deal with them right now. This is love versus duty. Let's be honest. This is love versus duty. And I've always prided myself as a individual that once I say that I'm going to do something, once I say I'm going to care about somebody, once I say that I'm your friend, I'm always going to follow through. I'm not going to flake out. I'm not going to just disappear in the middle of the night because I have a feeling. No, if I say I'm your friend, I find that as a duty to uphold my friendship. That means caring. That means a lot of things to me. And I'm going to uphold that. Which is why I don't have a lot of friends. Which is why I don't have a lot of relationships. Which is why I don't associate with a lot of people, because I don't show duty towards everybody. Everybody's walking around here with feelings. Oh, this person makes me feel good. This person makes me feel safe. This person makes me feel comfortable. Everybody's walking around with feelings. And the moment that feeling changes, it's easy to cut that person off. But when you say that, oh, I'm going to be your friend, or I'm going to be a lover, or I'm going to be whatever you want to call it, all of a sudden, the duty changes. You start, you know what, let me call this person because I said I was going to be their friend. Or let me check up on this person because I said I was their friend. This is my family member. I call them family. I have a duty to do that. These are the things that, like I said, when it comes down to it, when it really comes down to it, duty overrides love. Because love, you can always love somebody, but always love somebody from afar. You can love somebody and not do anything for that person. Duty forces you to do certain things, and it overrides a lot of the stuff that we so-called admire in the society. In fact, I think if more people were more dutiful, we would especially in the black community. We love the black community so much, but we have no duty towards the black community. We don't feel that we need to change the black community. We don't feel like we can't uplift the black community because we love the black community. We love the people who we're around, but we have no duty towards these people. And when you have duty towards the people, you then force yourself to put yourself into a situation to where you're willing to make changes for the betterment of you so you can easily love the person better. The same thing within a relationship. If you love somebody, you are willing to go through the changes and the duties of making the change so that person can love you differently, or you can love that person differently. Or else, yeah, you may love that person, but you can't fuck with that person. So anyway, I hope I didn't bore y'all. This was my spill. I have, let me see. What do I have? I have some, I scheduled basically my whole schedule. I have, I think the next one is scheduled for the 4th, which would be a Monday. Yeah, yeah. So I know, if you haven't already, hey, Auntie, what's good, man? But like I said, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit everything. Um, Figure out if you want to have love or duty towards a person. Figure it out. Just figure it out. Do you love the person? Does that person make you feel good, or do you want to have duty towards that person? I would say have an obligation and a love and a commitment towards another individual is a much better way of displaying your God-given talents, or whatever you want to call it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. I'm getting calls from everybody. Okay. Y'all be so damn petty. But anyway, like I said, this is it. I got 2 or 3. I have a show coming up probably every day next week. We're gonna be covering authentic, adaptive, and aberrant behavior. Of course, on Wednesdays, we're going to be having strongly agree to disagree. On Saturday, I have something planned. I have a new show that's going to pop up on Saturdays, every Saturday. Hopefully that works out. So, like I say, support your boy. If y'all want me to go back, if y'all don't want me to go back into beefing with niggas, support. Cause I will beef with these whole ass niggas. But anyway, let's jam out on some shit, and then we're gonna get the fuck up out of here. Oh, I didn't put the. All right, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Let's jam on some shit.